The galaxy was quiet in a way that felt wrong. Not peaceful, but empty, like something had already died and no one came to mourn it. Far from any trade route, near a cold and broken planet, an old alien outpost floated in space. It had been abandoned after the last war, stripped of value, and left to rot. Most species avoided places like this. Humans did not. The human moved slowly through the ruins. His suit lights cut thin lines through dust and metal. He was not here for glory or treasure. He was here because humans had learned how to survive on leftovers. The galaxy called humans weak. Too emotional, too soft, too attached. They said humans could not let go. They were right. A broken corridor opened into what used to be a storage bay. Scorch marks covered the walls. Crates were smashed, systems torn apart. This place had been cleared in a hurry. He turned to leave. Then he heard it. At first, it sounded like static. A small noise, almost lost in the hum of his suit. He stopped. Listened again. It was not a machine. Not metal scraping metal. It was softer, uneven. A sound that did not belong in an empty place. He followed it toward the back of the bay. Behind a pile of broken equipment, he saw something lying on the floor. A sack. It was made of rough alien fiber, sealed tight, marked with disposal symbols. The kind used for waste, failed cargo, or things not worth keeping. The sound came again, weaker this time. The human stood still. Every instinct told him to walk away. Alien sacks like this were never good news. Opening one could mean disease, traps, or worse. But the sound was there. Again. He crouched slowly and cut the seal. Inside the sack was something small. Very small. A baby. Not human. Its skin was pale and thin, its body too light. Its breathing was shallow. Each breath a struggle. Cold to the touch. The human froze. Alien species did not abandon young without reason. Some left weak offspring behind as part of their culture. Others destroyed them outright. This one had been thrown away. The baby's eyes opened slowly, unfocused at first. Then they locked onto the human. Tiny fingers moved, weak but searching. The human felt his chest tighten. He had seen death before. Too much of it. But this was different. The baby's lips moved. A sound came out, broken and dry, barely more than air. Daddy. The word hit him harder than any weapon. Alien babies did not speak human language. They did not know human words. They should not know that word. The human whispered without meaning to. That's not possible. The baby's grip tightened around his finger. Its heartbeat was fast and weak, fading. In that moment, the galaxy's rules stopped mattering. Orders, laws, wars. All of it felt distant and small. He knew he should leave. He knew helping this child could bring danger to every human left alive. He knew the species that abandoned this baby was cruel and powerful. But he also knew something else. Humans had been abandoned too. By allies, by stronger races, by the galaxy itself. He lifted the baby carefully, wrapping it in his own thermal lining. The baby relaxed slightly, its breathing steadier. His ship's AI warned him as soon as he returned. Unidentified life form detected, risk level high. He did not answer right away. He looked down at the small face, now resting against his chest. Log this, he said finally, calm and quiet. Today, humanity found something the galaxy threw away. Before the journey continued, the narrator gently speaks to the audience. If you enjoy deep human-focused sci-fi stories like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. It truly helps more stories reach you. As the ship moved away from the dead outpost, unseen sensors activated in the distance. A signal spread quietly through space. The alien empire had noticed something. Not a rescue. Not mercy. A mistake. And for the first time, that mistake was human. The human did not sleep. He sat in the pilot seat, while the ship moved slowly through empty space. The baby rested against his chest, wrapped in warmth. Every few moments, he looked down to make sure it was still breathing. Each breath was shallow but steady. The tiny chest moved up and down like it was learning how to live all over again. The ship's AI stayed silent for longer than usual. That alone made the human uneasy. Finally, the voice spoke, calm but serious. Unknown biological readings increasing. The human frowned. Increasing how? He asked. Energy output from the infant is rising. Source unclear. He looked down at the baby again. It did not glow. It did not move. It only slept, one hand still holding his finger, like it feared being left behind. The human remembered stories from the war. Alien weapons grown, not built. Living systems that reacted to emotion, fear, obedience. This child was never meant to live. That thought settled heavy in his chest. He moved toward the medical bay. The lights flickered as he walked. Not a failure. A response. The medical scanner struggled the moment he placed the baby inside. Readings jumped. Symbols overlapped. Warnings stacked over each other. This makes no sense, the human muttered. The AI answered slowly. This organism does not match known records. Genetic structure shows adaptive behavior. The human stiffened. Adaptive how? Responding to proximity. Stress levels decrease when subject is near you. He stared at the screen. Alien species rarely bonded. They were raised in groups, trained early, detached by design. Yet this child calmed when he was close, as if it had chosen him. The baby stirred, small sounds leaving its throat, not cries, almost like attempts at words. The human leaned closer without thinking. It's okay, he said quietly. I'm here. The baby relaxed instantly. The scanner stabilized. The AI paused before speaking again. Hypothesis, subject is imprinting. The word echoed in the room. Imprinting was dangerous. It created loyalty stronger than orders, stronger than fear. That was when the first warning signal sounded. Not internal, external. The ship detected a scan pulse, faint but focused. Someone was searching. The human's jaw tightened. Who? The AI answered with a tone it rarely used. Signature matches alien empire reconnaissance. They were not supposed to be here. This outpost was forgotten, left behind. Unless they were looking for something. The human looked at the baby again, at the way its small fingers twitched when the ship vibrated, at the faint line of warmth spreading across its skin. They came back for you, he whispered. The ship changed course, engines pushing harder. The AI spoke again, probability of interception rising. The human knew the truth now. This child was not abandoned by accident. It was discarded out of fear. The Empire did not throw away weakness. They destroyed threats. And this baby was a threat. A second scan hit the ship, stronger this time. Weapons powered up in the distance. Not firing. Yet, a demand followed, transmitted across open space, cold and direct. Surrender the biological asset. The human felt anger rise, slow and controlled. They did not say child. They did not say life. Asset. He opened a channel, his voice steady. There's nothing here for you. The response came instantly. False. That organism does not belong to you. The baby stirred again, sensing tension. A soft sound escaped its mouth. Not a word. A feeling. The ship's lights dimmed for a second, then brightened, stronger than before. The human's heart pounded. What did you do? He asked the AI. I did nothing, the AI replied. The power increase is not from the ship. Outside, one of the alien ships drifted closer. Its weapons did not fire. They shut down. One by one, confusion spread through the enemy channel. Systems failed without damage. Commands delayed. The baby's eyes opened, glowing faintly. Not with anger. Not with fear. With awareness. The human backed away slowly, holding the child close. What are you? He whispered. The baby did not answer with words. It pressed its head against his chest instead. The glow faded. The ship's system stabilized. The alien fleet pulled back slightly, shaken, uncertain. The AI spoke again, quieter this time. Updated hypothesis. This organism disrupts control-based systems. The human understood the danger fully now. Alien empires were built on control, obedience, hierarchy, fear. This child broke those rules by simply existing. The alien commander sent one final message, sharp and cold. You do not understand what you carry, human. The human looked at the baby, then back at the stars ahead. Neither did you, he replied. The channel closed. But the thread did not. As the ship vanished into deep space, one truth became clear. Saving the baby was no longer just an act of kindness. It was an act of war. The ship should have been struggling. It was old, damaged, and running on patched systems. Yet as the hours passed, something strange began to happen. Power levels stopped dropping, not rising fast, not surging, but holding steady in a way the ship had not done in years. The human noticed it first when the lights stopped flickering. He paused in the corridor, looking up. The hum of the ship felt different, calmer. The AI spoke after a long silence, system stability increasing beyond expected limits. The human frowned. That's not possible. It should not be, the AI replied. Yet it is occurring. In the medical bay, the baby slept peacefully, its breathing slow and even now. No longer weak, no longer fading. Thin cracks in the wall plating nearby began to seal slowly. Metal did not melt. It did not bend. It simply aligned itself, as if guided. The human stepped back, heart pounding. He had seen self-repair tech before. But this was different. There were no tools, no commands, only the baby. He moved closer, speaking softly. "It's okay," he said. "I'm here." The moment his voice filled the room, the repair rate increased slightly. The AI detected it instantly. Correlation confirmed, the AI said. System response increases when subject hears your voice. The human swallowed. This was not coincidence anymore. He ordered the AI to search old war records, deep archives, restricted files, forgotten data, anything connected to abandoned projects or erased species traits. The search took time, too much time. As data streamed across the screen, fragments of truth appeared. Not a single project, not a weapon design, but fear. The alien empire had once tried to create perfect control. Their technology relied on strict command structures. Every ship, every soldier, every system obeyed without question. Empathy was removed from their society long ago, seen as weakness, seen as chaos. Then the AI found it. A classified biological anomaly report, marked for deletion. The human read slowly, every word heavy. Hybrid emergence, natural birth, not engineered. His hands trembled. Natural. The baby was not built, not designed, not programmed. It was born. The report continued. Subject exhibits dual cognitive pathways, advanced logic processing combined with emotional response. The human looked at the sleeping child. "So you feel," he whispered. Another line appeared, darker than the rest. Empathy destabilizes command networks. The alien empire had discovered the truth too late. A being that could think and feel at the same time could not be controlled. Empathy caused hesitation, choice, disobedience. Their systems reacted to emotion like a disease, shutting down, questioning orders, breaking hierarchy. The child was never a weapon meant to attack. It was a weapon simply because it existed. The human felt a cold realization settle in. They had not abandoned the baby because it was weak. They abandoned it because it was dangerous to them. The baby stirred suddenly, sensing his change in emotion. A soft cry escaped its mouth. The lights dimmed slightly. The human rushed forward, placing his hand gently on the child. "It's okay," he said quickly. "I'm here." The cry stopped almost instantly. The lights stabilized again. The AI spoke softly, almost careful. Emotional synchronization detected. The human sat beside the medical pod for hours. Every time he spoke, the baby calmed. Every time he stepped away, the baby cried. Distance caused instability. Closeness restored balance. Bonding was no longer a theory. It was happening. Imprinting. The baby did not respond to the AI voice. Did not react to alarms or lights. Only to him. The human understood the weight of it now. This child had chosen him. Not by logic. Not by orders. By trust. Far away, unseen sensors across the galaxy began to react. Alien networks felt small failures. Tiny delays. Moments of hesitation where none had existed before. The Empire did not yet know why. Only that something was wrong. And aboard one quiet human ship, A baby slept safely for the first time, held close by the very species the galaxy called weak. The galaxy believed its greatest threat would come from weapons, from fleets, from war. It never imagined its greatest mistake would come from abandoning a child and letting a human hear a tiny voice and answer it. The signal did not arrive like a warning. It arrived like a decision already made. The ship's sensors lit up at once. Multiple contacts. Too many. Too close. The human felt the shift in the ship's balance before the AI spoke. Alien warships detected. He did not ask how many. He already knew from the pressure in the air, from the way the ship seemed to shrink under unseen eyes. They followed us, he said quietly. Yes, the AI replied. They are not approaching with rescue protocols. The human closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again, steady. They never were. Outside the viewport, space filled with dark shapes, massive alien vessels forming a wide circle, cutting off every escape path. Their formation was perfect, cold, trained. This was not a search party. This was a cleanup. A transmission cut through the silence, sharp and direct. Human vessel. Power down and prepare for inspection. The human did not move. The baby slept against his chest, warm and calm, unaware of the danger closing in. Another message followed, slower, clearer. Surrender the biological defect immediately. Defect. Not child. Not life. The human's jaw tightened. He stepped closer to the console, opening a channel. His voice carried no anger, no fear. There is no defect here, he said. For a moment, there was silence. Then laughter filled the channel, metallic and distant. A sound without humor. You do not understand, the alien commander replied. That organism is a failure, a threat to stability. The human looked down at the baby, at the small chest rising and falling. So was humanity, he said softly. The commander ignored the comment. You will comply, it said, or you will be erased along with the evidence. The word evidence echoed in the human's mind. This was not about justice, not about safety. It was about fear. The baby shifted slightly, sensing tension again. Its fingers tightened in his suit. A small sound escaped its throat, uneasy. The ship's lights flickered once, then held steady. The human opened a wideband channel, broadcasting not just to the fleet, but to any system listening. His message was simple, calm, clear. He chose me. For a second, nothing happened. Then the alien fleet laughed again, louder this time, mocking, confident. You believe choice matters, the commander said. Humans always do. The warships moved closer, weapons charging, energy building like a storm waiting to break. The human did not move. He held the baby closer, not shielding it, sharing warmth. This was the moment the galaxy expected to end in fire. A weak human, an old ship, surrounded by power. The baby cried. It was not loud, not angry, just scared. The cry echoed softly through the ship, and then through space itself. Something answered. Not a voice, not a sound, a reaction. The nearest alien ship shuddered. Its weapon charge cut off mid-cycle. Lights flickered across its hull. Another ship drifted out of formation, its engine stalling, commands failing. Confusion spread across the alien channel. Reports overlapped. Systems refusing orders. What is happening? One voice demanded. The baby cried again, louder now. And more ships reacted. Weapons powered down. Navigation systems froze. The human felt it too. A pressure in his chest. Not pain. Emotion. The baby was afraid. And the universe around it was responding. The alien commander tried to regain control. Focus, it ordered. Restore command protocols. But the systems did not listen. They hesitated, delayed, questioned. The Empire's greatest strength was failing. Not because of attack, but because of doubt. The baby pressed its face into the human's chest. The crying softened. The lights stabilized. The human spoke softly, barely above a whisper. I've got you. The alien fleet pulled back slightly, not retreating, but uncertain. Fear had entered their formation, and fear did not belong there. The commander sent one final message, slower now, careful. This changes nothing, it said. You cannot protect it forever. The human looked at the stars ahead, then back at the child. Neither could you, he replied. The channel closed. The warships remained, watching, waiting. And in that silence, the truth settled across the galaxy. This was no longer about one baby, or one human. This was about control meeting something it could not command. And it had just learned fear. No help was coming. The human knew that now. Human space was broken into quiet pieces. Scattered fleets, lost stations, hidden survivors. There was no united force left to answer a call like this. The galaxy had learned to ignore humans. Too few. Too tired. Too damaged to matter. The alien warships remained in place. A dark wall around the small human vessel. Waiting. Patient. Time stretched. Not minutes. Not hours. But understanding. The human adjusted the baby in his arms, feeling the steady warmth against his chest, the slow breath that trusted him without question. He checked the ship's power. Weapons low. Shields weak. No path out. He was not afraid of dying. He had faced that truth many times before. But dying like this was different. This time, someone depended on him. He moved to the recording console. The baby watched him now, eyes open, calm, following his face. Learning. The human activated the recorder. His voice was steady, but quiet. This message is for anyone human who still exists, he said. If you find this, then we did not make it. He paused, looking down at the child. His hand tightened slightly. They call us weak, he continued. They say we feel too much. They say we break easily. He took a breath. This is what they throw away. The baby made a small sound. Not a cry. Almost a question. The human smiled sadly. You're stronger than they ever knew, he whispered. Outside, the alien fleet began final preparations. Weapons charging again. Systems resetting under manual override. Fear forced into obedience. The alien commander transmitted one last time. This is your final chance, it said. Release the subject. The human did not respond. He knelt slightly, bringing his forehead close to the baby's. Not praying, not asking, just present. The baby reached out, a small hand touching the human's chest, right over his heart. The moment contact was made, everything changed. The ship's power surged, not violently, not explosively, but smoothly, like breath filling lungs. The AI spoke fast now, confused. Energy source unidentified, power levels exceeding maximum limits. Outside, alien weapons shut down at once. Not damaged, not destroyed, just off. One by one, across the fleet. Control signals failed. Command lines broke. Orders stopped being followed. The alien commander shouted across the channel. Restore obedience protocols. Nothing happened. The baby did not scream, did not glow with rage, did not attack. It simply existed. The systems built on fear could not function. Fear needed hierarchy. Hierarchy needed obedience. And the baby refused. Alien ships drifted, confused, powerless. Their crews felt something new spread through their ranks. Not pain, not terror, choice. Some hesitated. Some questioned orders for the first time in their lives. Some removed their control bands without knowing why. The human felt tears form without realizing it. This was not destruction. This was release. The AI spoke again, quieter now. Alien command networks collapsing. The baby leaned closer into the human, calm and safe. The energy stabilized, not pushing outward anymore. The alien commander tried one final command. Fire. No ship obeyed. The silence that followed was heavier than any explosion. An empire built on fear had no answer for trust. The human stood slowly, holding the child. He did not raise a weapon. He did not threaten. He simply stayed. Across the galaxy, observers would later describe this moment incorrectly. They would say the human had a weapon. They would say humanity finally struck back. But the truth was simpler. Human values did not destroy alien technology. They rewrote it. Systems learned that not every command must be followed. Not every order deserved obedience. The baby looked up at the human, eyes clear, steady. No fear, only certainty. In that moment, humanity stood alone. No fleets, no armies, just one human, one child, and a truth the galaxy could never unlearn. Strength was not control. Strength was care. And the weakest species had just changed everything. The silence after the collapse did not stay silent for long. Across nearby systems, observers had already begun recording. Merchant ships, neutral scouts, distant listening posts. They had all seen something impossible. An alien fleet, powerful and feared. Frozen without a battle. Not destroyed. Not conquered. Stopped. The recordings spread slowly at first. Then faster. Then everywhere. Other species watched the footage again and again. They slowed it down. Analyzed it. Argued over it. They saw the alien commanders panic. Not because of firepower, but because their control failed. They saw the human ship remain still. No weapons firing. No threats issued. They saw something stranger. Protection. The human did not attack. He did not demand surrender. He did not claim victory. He simply stayed between the child and the fleet. For many species, this made no sense. Power was always used to dominate. Victory always came with force. Humans broke that pattern. On board the human ship, time passed differently. The danger had not vanished, but it had changed shape. The baby grew faster than expected, not in size alone, but in awareness. Within days, it followed movement with intent. Within weeks, it copied sounds. Within months, it understood tone. The human spoke to it often. Simple words. Simple ideas. The child listened, not as a student, but as someone learning how to choose. It learned language through care. Learned meaning through presence. One day, without effort, without fear, the child looked up and spoke clearly. Father. The word carried weight. Not ownership. Not command. Belonging. The human did not correct it. Did not hesitate. He only nodded. That single word reached farther than any weapon ever could. Meanwhile, inside the alien empire, cracks spread quickly. News of the failure could not be hidden. Soldiers whispered. Engineers questioned. Civilians began to ask why. Why was a child called a defect? Why was empathy forbidden? Why were weak lives discarded? Some remembered their own lost offspring. Thrown away in silence. Erased for stability. The Empire tried to silence these thoughts, but the systems no longer obeyed as they once had. Fear had been their glue, and fear was failing. Entire units refused deployment. Ships delayed orders. Commanders found themselves ignored, not in rebellion, in hesitation. Across the galaxy, other species took notice. They had feared the Empire for generations. Now they saw doubt where certainty once lived. And they saw the cause. One human, one child, one refusal to abandon. The human did not become famous. He did not speak to councils. He did not seek credit. He stayed close to the child, teaching, listening, waiting. The child grew curious about others, asked simple questions. Why do they fear? Why do they follow? The human answered honestly, because they were taught to. That answer spread faster than propaganda ever could. The alien empire fractured quietly, not in explosions, not in open war, but in thought. Some chose reform. Some chose separation. Some chose denial. But none could return to what they were. All because one human refused to walk away from a sack in the dark. Across the galaxy, reactions shifted. Not cheers. Not celebration. Understanding. This was not revenge. No one had been punished. No cities burned. Yet everything had changed. Power was no longer the loudest voice. Control was no longer absolute. The audience watching these events felt something rare. Not satisfaction through destruction, but through transformation. The galaxy did not fall. It woke up, and it all began with a whisper, and a human who answered it. Years passed. Not quickly, not gently, but steadily. The galaxy changed in ways no one had planned. Borders shifted without war. Empires shrank without battles. Fear lost its grip one question at a time. The child was no longer a baby, not fully grown, but no longer small. He stood taller now, moved with calm confidence, eyes clear and aware. He did not sit on a throne. No crown rested on his head. No banners followed his steps. He stood between species, not above them, not beneath them, between. Councils gathered where weapons once ruled. Species that never spoke now listened, not because they were forced, but because they wanted to understand. When arguments rose, the child did not command. He asked. When fear appeared, he waited. Choice mattered more than control. The human stood nearby, older now. Lines marked his face, not from stress, but from years of care. He did not speak often in these meetings. He did not need to. Everyone knew who he was. Not a hero, not a conqueror, a father. Humans were no longer dismissed as weak, no longer ignored or pitted. They were watched carefully now, not because of their weapons. Humans still lacked the largest fleets, still lacked numbers, but because of something more dangerous. They bonded, they protected, they stayed when logic said leave. Other species had learned a hard truth. A human who walked away could be forgotten. A human who stayed could change everything. The alien empire that once ruled through fear no longer existed as it had. Fragments remained, some peaceful, some still struggling, but none dared return to old ways openly. Too many had learned what fear cost them. The child walked freely between worlds now, not as a ruler, not as a symbol forced on others, but as proof. Proof that empathy did not weaken logic, that care did not erase strength, that trust could hold systems together better than fear ever had. When asked what he was, he answered simply, I am choosing. That answer unsettled many, because it could not be controlled. The human once asked him if he remembered the sack, the cold, the darkness. The child shook his head gently. I remember a voice, he said, and arms that stayed. That was enough. The galaxy would later write histories. They would argue over causes, over politics, over systems. Some would still claim technology failed. Others would say the empire was already broken. But the truth was quieter, simpler. The galaxy did not fall because of human weapons. It did not change because of fleets or fire. What truly changed everything was a human heart, a heart that heard a dying whisper in the dark and did not turn away. Daddy, that whisper never became a command, never became a threat. It became a promise, and the galaxy learned at last. The most dangerous thing about humans was never how hard they could fight. It was how fiercely they could love.